Objection!
Ah! I am just gonna... Wait! Now I'm unmuted. Okay. So, hello there, everybody. This is TheAljavis here, and welcome to 27's Director's Commentary, where we talk about how much we did in the production and how much we hate ourselves.
Objection!
Ah, shit!
Objection!
Stop it! Well, that was already a good start. Anyways, if you guys would please introduce yourselves, starting with... I would do, you know what, you're already starting anyway, so just go.
And also one of the writers for Elements of Justice.
Say it
You're
again. I forgot to unmute it.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Do it. Just do it.
Oh my god, this is not.
It wasn't unmuted before. Just go. Just go.
God. Hi. My name is Jarvy Jared. And if I'm not going to get muted, I'm one of the team leaders for the musicians and the PR team. And I'm also one of the writers for Elements of Justice. In my free time, I get muted by the DC stream.
I'm sorry. It wasn't muted before. I'm still psych. And next.
Hello, everyone. I am Overgrowth. I play Fair Devotion and Sugar Stamp. And that's about it.
Nice. Next.
Hello, it's a Melody. I'm a new guy here. I watched 2-7 yesterday.
It is true.
What do you do, new guy?
Oh, correction. I watched the entirety of 2-3 to 2-7 yesterday, and I am one of the new artists here.
It is true. He is one of the very new people in this team. And speaking of new people, we have next.
Hello, my name is Tyler Lambert. I'm a graphic artist and graphic designer for Elements of Justice. I joined recently, last month, so I'm very new to the team. And I specialize in digital art, graphic design, and animation projects.
Yep. We got two newbies in here. And of course, last but not least,
We go from the newbies to the veterans. Hello, this is Jerboe, one of the video editors for Elements of Justice. And this video is not sponsored by Doritos or Mountain Dew.
oh, ain't that a shame? We could have used the money for more mic upgrades. But yeah.
Julius would do anything for money.
Oh, we know he will do anything for money. So, yeah.
Remember, folks, he will do anything for money.
He will do anything for money.
I noticed, by the way, you've miscredited me as a concept artist. I'm in fact a still artist in the description.
Well, whatever. But like, yeah.
It's whatever.
But
Whatever,
yeah,
yes.
it's whatever. But yeah, like I think there's gonna be a pretty interesting DC. Oh, there! I just remembered. We actually have one more person to introduce. He's not here with us physically, but he is in here in spirit. So, if you would introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Pretzelman718, and I voice Private Eye. I really wanted to make it to this audio commentary, but unfortunately I have something else going on at the exact same time. So instead, I decided to record some things ahead of time and have them played at specific timestamps. I even have some outtakes from my original recording for this episode, so hopefully you guys enjoy that.
So yeah, Pretzelman is here in spirit. He couldn't make it here for personal stuff, but he has sent me some recordings of himself talking about certain points. So you will hear them throughout the episode. Not a whole lot, but he will give his points on certain parts. So I think that's super cool that he can do that. It's something new for a DC. So I think you guys should be excited for that.
The DC evolves over time.
It really should, except for me when I use tentacle stuff. Because I'll always
Technical
never...
difficulties are just a statement of truth here in the
It just happens every time.
TheAljavis, we're live. Calm yourself.
But yeah, I think we should get. Oh, before we do, there's one more thing I gotta do. Shout outs to all of the front gallery members. Casriel, Sean Taggart, Night Rainbow, Pork42, Hoodie Angel, Maria Moonlight, Eleutheria, Antasma88, Sexy Demon Horse, and Tiamat Dragon 55. Because it's a sexy demon horse. Like they're the best.
Just a name, Al.
What
Why?
About?
That it's just a name for one of the members. But yeah.
Oh, hi James. I see you in chat, James.
Demon
Hi James. Where are you, man?
Stop distracting from the point at hand, Jarvy.
It's James.
My boy's in the chat. I gotta shout him out.
Hey, James.
Hi. But yeah, I think we are actually finally ready to start the episode. If you guys are ready too.
We are ready.
Yay!
Oh,
$50.
$50.
Hello.
$50 already? Oh my god! Oh,
From
hi!
Hi, Fire
Oh,
Sky.
it's Fire Sky! Oh god, I'm scared.
All right,
Okay.
let's start.
Let's start now.
Oh boy.
After a great start here.
I still love that reference right there.
God, it's so cute. So cute.
Shout outs to Cadet.
I like the logo. That was well designed.
Yeah.
Say what? Ponies can walk in dreams?
I love the picture of the fucking mayor, by the way.
Yeah.
I always thought that was cute.
Easy for you to say.
Never mind that part. Athena, you're saying that Luna also wants what we want, to ensure Sweetie Belle gets a non-guilty verdict.
Yeah. And that she thinks
Phoenix
that
will
Look
do
at
anything
this
for
high
money.
quality lip syncing.
or sugar stamp
Yeah, the lip syncing. Shout outs to the automation team. Like, ever since Connor did the manual lip syncing in 2.6, they were like, you know what? Let's just do lip syncing for the H30 characters too.
Yesterday,
And they were crazy to do it, but holy shit, does it look good.
but after having that dream,
It must have taken some time to create.
nothing definitive, boss.
It was, I think it did.
Think that this trial will lead us to the
Cause
answers we
like
need.
So,
all,
Are
yeah, all
these
the
like
Well, if
are these
Prince
rotoscope
Sugar
game
Stamp decided to
assets
take on
or
Nancy,
actual 3D models?
actual 3D models, and then we turn them into
Oh,
PNG
shit.
sequences. And they're retextured
Oh,
too.
shit, that's wild. That's wild. That's cool.
Retextures, recolors, and reintegrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do we have to thank for that?
He plans on doing that.
You have to thank me, Shannon, and Soundman for the 3D models and retexturing them, and of course the automation team for making them work.
After last night,
Yeah, props to everyone there.
And there are a lot of really cursed images from that
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing cursed about any of this. There is no uncanny valley.
Heard. I think it's more likely that you found out.
Yeah,
during
this
the
was.
night
I think this
yourself.
was before
Is that why Twilight was up late the night before?
alt flashbacks. Always give me an idea of like, oh,
Before.
it used to be.
And if so, why did Twilight feel the need
Oh,
to
balcony
hide it?
scene.
Balcony
Balcony.
scene.
Oh, balcony scene.
Balcony scene.
Protected
Balcony
Discord over such a small lie.
scene.
Ugh, forget
This is
it.
I always thought that
I need to
her
confirm
thing.
that
I thought that
it's
scene was-
not this.
And
The internet always freaks out over lesbians.
It's true.
Here's hoping you could take that composure with
I always
Girls are
thought that
pretty.
balcony scene was kind of like a foreshadow,
I hope so too, boss.
Oh yeah.
like something big's gonna happen next.
Hey,
Yeah.
It apparently was.
What
Oh,
is it, Athena?
Speaking of TwiThena,
Been
No.
through a lot.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
let's go.
Yes. And,
That's my horse
I've
girlfriend.
heard you before, because a lot of my
Oh,
friends
Adox never
actually-
changed.
Oh, Adox. I can't believe Adox said that in an outtake. One of these days, people, you only heard it from me. One of these days, you're gonna hear that outtake
I
where
wasn't
Adox
going to
actually says
apologize.
that.
I mean, not that I don't still feel ashamed of what I did, but after I accused the core in the first half of yesterday's trial, you told me that even though I'd opened up some very old wounds, you'd stand with me in court. I really
And at the
appreciate
balcony and down the aisle.
to tell you before, but
I'll stand
The
behind
way this
you.
case was going, it seemed like it just brings Twilight Athena just closer and closer with each
Yeah, I know, right?
obstacle they have to overcome.
Oh
Yeah.
Melody, you have so much to look forward to in 2-8.
But now I'm
Like Athena and Twilight, like since the balcony scene, like people just love the shit out of like those two together, and then we just took it further and further to a point where we'll see in another episode literal like wedding stuff.
I'll stand with you in court too.
Spoilers, dude. I was trying to keep it vague for Melody's sake.
That is, if you'll still stand with me.
You can't just say
He'll figure it out
wedding
later.
You can't just say that.
I mean, you won't know
just say-
when. You won't know when.
Of course I'll
I mean, I'm just along for the ride at this point. This case has been very hard to consciously track.
Yeah, it's
Especially
a
when
long
you're
case. No, it's completely understandable.
Especially when you're binging it in one sitting at double speed, because I procrastinate a lot because hi, ADHD person here.
Yeah.
A liar.
Doing all right.
$10 from Riku.
It's frying pan to the head.
Dude, I love Frying Pan to the Head. That's my favorite Ace Attorney villain.
It's just, well, I think we just expected you to be more nervous.
Has there not been an Athena centered game?
Nope.
Nope.
No. Not yet.
What?
I mean, I guess the
Present.
closest was Dual Destinies, but she was not the main character. That was more Phoenix.
She was only ahead of 2 cases in the main series.
Technically
the Academy
one, since
one.
by this point, only Dual Destinies has happened.
Yeah. At this point, it was only Dual
alright.
Destiny. This takes place before Spirit of Justice.
Oh yeah, then yeah, only one case she was ahead of. The
And I guess she
Academy.
had, like, you know, half of a case at the very beginning.
Oh, Justin Tran, thanks for the $4.99. TheAljavis, here's my splitter name. If I was a famous singer, I'd be called Justin. What?
This could string me, please.
String me, please.
I don't know what a Justin something is.
I have no idea what that means, but thank. Oh wait, there's another donation I missed. Rico, Wisteria. I know the true killers. It's oh, that was what you meant, Katie.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, we call that one out for you. Don't you worry.
Sorry. There's a lot to keep track of. I'm sorry.
I do.
I'm still kind of sick.
I'm watching the chat. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Nevertheless, here it is.
Is that blood?
No, those are Timberwolf tears.
Blood, to be more specific.
Guys, that's a PR reference.
And literally, like, people actually believe that those were
People
Timberwolf
believe that.
like
It was
tears.
funny. I laughed.
It was really funny.
Shout out to member of my PR team, Brittany, for coming up with that funny idea.
Is the reason the forensic blood is
It doesn't
blue
really
for
look like
YouTube
blood.
purposes?
Thank you for this.
Why is
I
the
guess
who what?
the blue, literal like the forensic blood, like it's in blue when you find them with the luminous.
It's chemical.
It's chemical reaction.
Ah.
The lid represents chemical reaction.
No, when you shine a certain chemical over blood, it will turn translucent blue in order to show up across several surfaces.
Oh, sorry.
It's an earlier thing in the case.
Is that a Layton line that I'm saying there?
Yes, that was. In
That was
fact,
from Riku.
Joe
I thought
has
of
something
the
to
thing.
say about that. If you guys would pay
Ruby
attention,
Parrot.
please, Joe, talk about it.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this opening section with Private Eye, because this is before all of it goes down. But I do remember that for this particular line, for critical thinking is the key to success, I tried to record it to make it sound like the same way that he says it, like when you complete a puzzle in the games, using the same inflection and intonality that he uses there.
There we go. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Thanks for pointing that out, Joe. And now we'll move on.
I will. And I'll do my best to see through every...
Also, $5 from Riku says he thought of a nickname Luna might give Apollo, Ruby Parrot.
It's plausible.
Maybe. Or I guess from the screechy like voice sometimes you're like
It is kind of fitting. He has ruptured his voice through his cords of steel.
Yeah, he does have a cords of steel. Yeah.
And he is called Polly.
He is called Polly. You're right.
Polly. Polly want a cracker. Ribby
Polly
parrot.
want a cracker.
Makes sense. It all checks out.
Oh, by the way, I want to make a real quick point about what's happening right now. This is a part of an attempt to show that Athena really is starting to come into her own as an attorney because she's actually taking the initiative and performing tasks and asking for help. You know, by going to Sonata and not really saying, I need to talk to my boss first or anything like that. Very small, but it's an example of showing that Athena has taken the first half of Case 2 to heart and is now starting to power through things.
Yeah, Athena's character development's been great. I noticed through this.
We treat Athena right.
The way
he's smart.
Chances are it's the victim.
The way that she just had to be on top of everything after the previous episode just showed how much change she had to go through, especially after that talk with Phoenix. It's really impressive, honestly.
Want to give Athena like good treatment because like she's been kind of disrespected, like especially in Spirit of Justice. Like
yeah, if Capcom is not gonna be a good character, we will.
Boss. Thanks.
But why did you ask her to do all of that?
It has to do with something
is like
I thought of yesterday.
her with like psychology and law, like you can do so much with it, I think.
And I might be way off the mark.
And considering she's like still really young, like she definitely has room for growth.
I
guess you'd say she has room for overgrowth.
I have a character.
That hurt my throat.
Very similar to her.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's like a lot of room for her, like, analytical psychology to come into play. Spirit of Justice, I have a lot of problems with, but I do have to admit, I liked how they handled the one witness in Athena's case in it. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Twilight.
And I wanted to add on, like, I can definitely agree that, like, a psychologist lawyer is a very fun angle to play because that's basically the premise of one of my, like, many tabletop characters.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like that's me doing the bailiff voice, and I had COVID at the time. That's why I like that voice sounded like
gravelly owl ever again.
It's like my voice was way gravelly or whatever, rougher than usual because my throat was just so fucked up.
I always like that retext bit. It just seems a bit fitting for serious courtroom.
All right, it's day 2. All court is now in session.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Sweetiebelle. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The prosecution is indeed ready, Your Honor.
The defense is also ready, Your Honor. And there's Prosecutor Luna again.
And as you can see, the lip sync is also applied to Athena.
Even though I know her role in all this, I still can't escape this feeling of intimidation. I guess it comes with being
honestly seeing the like Ace Attorney models and how they've developed since like the beginning is fantastic.
Yeah. We were just
seeing the
using
new poses. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And no, go ahead.
Seeing the new poses, especially in comparison to the ones from Dual Destiny, they just work really well in this series. Especially the whole Athena looking to her side, all exacerbated like that. I thought that one was good. It was funny, honestly.
Yeah.
Technically, that post was used in 2-3 as well.
Yeah. But yeah, but the fact that we have these 3D models show that like we can just make custom poses. But yeah, we just had to use.
Says, I know you won't reveal what's in the letter from Luna to Zecora.
$20.
I have many theories. From it is incriminating. I have to start that again. I know you won't reveal the letter from Luna to Zecora, but I have many theories. From it is incriminating for RO, assuming Royal Order, to something in regards perhaps a Nightmare Moon remnant that no longer is attached to Luna.
I mean, I won't say anything.
Speaking
Interesting
of the
theories.
3D models,
These are theories, yeah.
I really love Athena and Widget, especially in like things like at the end of this, like at the end of 2-7 when, you know, not revealing, when threatening Sweetie Belle, and then also 2-8, the end of 2-8, just, you know, Widget showing Athena's true feelings.
But it doesn't
Love it.
she actually
I always like that bit as well.
Yeah, Widget's like really fun to play around with. It gives like Athena like a lot more depth in terms of her character.
If this was all she had, surely
You know that old expression, the eyes are the window to the soul? Widget kind of seems similar to that. Like, it represents Athena from the inside in comparison to her outward expression.
Yeah.
Not quite, Your Honor.
Like from that scene just now, it showed a shocked reaction.
Shocked reaction from Widget.
Yep.
Would like to have Private Eye briefly.
And another $5 from Justin. Thanks.
Directed towards TheAljavis.
Yep.
Oh, for me.
Yeah, for you.
Detective Eye.
I'm just running the last light.
Killed at the statue.
It's
Your Highness. While there are still
he's
some
pretty much
facts
retired.
shrouded in mystery, our current theory attempts to explain the events of that night at that particular scene. The victim and defendant were at the statue. Some sort of altercation must have occurred, after which Miss Sweetie Belle was forced to act.
Forced to act?
We believe that Royal Order attempted to attack Miss Sweetie Belle. However, she must have done something in response, which would have led to how he died.
James is gonna kill me because the name of the song is on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it.
I think it's called Basis of the Case.
You mean like a summary?
Pushed the victim herself?
Not at all.
No,
by the way, there's a little.
It is Basis of the Case. It's from
there's
JTH.
a little thing that Joe wants to mention at this moment over here. If you would like to, OBS, where are you? All right, just all right. Okay, Joe, what do you have to say now?
Who'd it?
I wanted to say that even though it was to myself. I remember this line caused me to have some flashbacks during my recording session, actually to the first time I ever voiced Professor Layton. Let's have a listen.
She must have done something in response. Response.
This is a weird word for me because it reminds me of my very first line of Turnabout Storm the Other Side, where he talks about, I must apologize for the delay of my response. So I'm just getting flashbacks to my first ever debut as Professor Layton voice.
And that's all he wanted to say. Let's move on.
The statue's base.
Base Joe moment.
Base Joe. Actual Base Joe.
Joe is quite the top-headed guy.
Sweetie Belle is a filly, and much smaller than the victim. She would not have been able to push him on her own.
I spoke to him during my time here. He seems really cool. He seems really nice and considerate. I especially enjoyed his Layton voice.
Yeah, Joe is a treat to have around. He's a really chill, just nice guy.
Yep. Wish he could have made it, but at least he's here in spirit.
He's here in spirit.
He exists in our OBS recording.
Yes,
He's trapped in the software.
I spent an hour trying to get that to work, by the way.
He spent an hour trying to shove him into the fucking window.
Cherish the power of TheAljavis.
Yep.
A tragic case of an accidental killing. She did intentionally trip him, but she did not mean to impale him.
Your Honor, my client did not kill the victim. They're just built different and built weak. If anything, gravity killed the defendants. Killed the victim, not the defendant, actually.
Miss Sykes, are you saying you do not believe Miss Sweetie Belle
She
was
angry.
responsible?
Of course we are. The defense argues
We know so little about the case at this point. It's literally anyone's guess from when I watched it.
I mean, I have theories with having watched up to 2.7 and not knowing much ahead since I'm not a writer. Like,
I know up to 2.9. Fantastic.
God, I hope you do.
Yes, no, I actually read all of my lines without actually processing what was happening.
You read the.
How's that possible?
it is very clear that Fair Devotion is masterminding something. I just don't know what that something is yet.
Especially since she's manipulating Sugar Sam's testimony later on in the video.
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off. She's masterminding something. What the big picture is, I don't know.
I know the big picture, and I'm excited.
You need to watch 2.8, Melody. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I'm going
Sorry.
to watch 2.8 after this.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Please don't mention people are gonna spam the chat with Wednesday being released.
It's coming out when it's coming out.
See it, but
Witnesses who claim to have seen this unfortunate accident occur right before their very eyes.
2 witnesses? Again?
Because this mechanic is fun, Athena.
But already I've been blindsided.
Don't let it get to you, Athena.
You just went from 3 different poses in one sentence. That one was good.
On our side.
Yeah.
If she's making this particular accusation, it's because she expects us to be able to show it.
And 2 of those were custom made, right?
That means we just have to steady ourselves and keep pressing on.
Not those.
2 of those were custom made. After the whole fist shaking pose, it went straight to 2 custom made ones. Those were good.
I see.
Oh, it's best OC, and then the mom.
Witnesses?
It's me and me.
It's MILF and Trap.
Oh, it's the joke!
Oh
It's
my-
the joke!
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, where's James? James loves this joke. James, you love this joke. She's a male pony. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I don't know where the heck that joke came from, but it existed somewhere.
came from
in the
you.
Deep Shut up! I don't know that. You don't know that. I'm just the one who said we're gonna put this in because it's so stupid, and I need some funny.
I mean, it's been around way before this episode.
It's been around before this episode.
I'm a substitute teacher at Ponyville Elementary.
It's so stupid, but so good. She's a male pony.
Yes.
Where's James? James loves it, right, James?
Hey, he says Jesus.
I understand that this is a trying time.
It got memed into the actual series.
Yes.
That's James.
And that's what happened, actually.
$10 from Riku.
again.
Here's the big reveal. No pony actually died in any of the cases. It's all been an RPG game with Twilight, Luna, and Phoenix. Okay, I kid.
Man,
Okay.
they went for all of the effort to actually have blood.
Yep.
I think the most insulting thing of that is that you didn't even include Athena in this hypothetical.
Yes, we are.
Sorry,
Alright.
Athena. Also, the baton comes out.
The
cost
baton.
of
We're
the-
gonna pause for a minute here,
All right.
so I can talk about this episode and having these 2 on the stand at the same time. So,
Yep.
as you know, I voiced both Sugar Stamp and Fair Devotion, and up to this point, they had never been in a scene together. And so this was definitely a challenge for. I obviously recorded these 2 in different sessions, but there was a big challenge of making sure that I didn't, make them too similar. Like, one of the biggest challenges in this episode was creating the distinct voices for each of them, especially moments where Fair Devotion has a more higher pitched sound, or where the main challenge was actually when Sugar Stamp was not being all, "Hello, every pony," when she was actually talking like a normal, person. And making that still sound like Sugar Stamp. A lot of it was just voice register and figuring out, where in my voice Sugar Stamp is and where in my voice Fair Devotion is. But yeah, this episode definitely taught me a lot about, different areas in your voice and like kind of keeping in mind, you know, like you have to kind of watch that, especially in, you know, because voices for characters fluctuate, and making sure that those fluctuating doesn't overlap when it's both me.
Yeah.
But I think this also just really helped me be able to cement, especially for future Fair Devotion lines, be able to cement these two characters' voices enough that I can do a larger range of emotions and, you know, things now more confidently. So thank you, 2-7, for giving me hell.
If anything, it calls to mind. I have to assume like the voice actress in the show for Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy had the same exact issue.
Mm-hmm. That one was probably even harder because those two characters sound more similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a very similar pitch, like a half octave apart.
I have one question for Overgrowth. Is it difficult to maintain certain voice pitches, like high pitch for Sugar Stamp and low pitch for Fair Devotion? It's like you're constantly changing your voice for recording sessions.
Yeah, I mean, I did years of singing lessons, and those have been my savior.
Thanks for the $2 placeholder.
Thanks for $2.
Thank you. But yeah, no, being able to have, you know, because like especially in voice, you know, in singing, you have like your, you know, head voice and your chest voice. And that really was a lot of Sugar Stamp and Fair Devotion is chest voice, Sugar Stamp is head voice. And so that just really helped getting them down in general.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because like I'm not taught. I'm self-taught in every means. I'm not a voice actor yet. That's more my future when I have a better fucking mic. But I do sing a lot, and I like when I learned to control my head and chest voice, it also just transitioned directly into voice acting and being able to control my range a whole lot more specifically.
Now that's a concept I haven't heard of, using your head as to manipulate your voice.
It's a weird singing thing of like it's where the strain of your voice is coming from. So like right now I'm talking from my chest, but if you notice I sound a little more nasally here, that's because I'm talking with my head voice now, where the strain is higher up rather than lower down.
Mm-hmm. Like one thing you can actually tell the difference is if you put your hand on your chest and you feel the vibration. That is using, like, I'm using my chest voice right now. But if I were to go up here, I wouldn't be able to hear the vibration or feel the vibration in my chest anymore because my voice is mainly up higher. So
precisely.
That is something to keep in mind.
Fun voice tricks with Overgrowth.
And then of course there's falsetto of just you sound like Mickey Mouse all the time.
So is that all you want to say?
I don't think I can ever pull off high pitch. My voice is naturally low. I don't think I could go as a high pitch voice actor. Maybe something heavy or low I could be suited for, but nothing like the Fair Devotion or Sugar Stamp.
Yeah. It really just
$2, Riku.
Yeah, thanks for the $2. And it's not a I don't know if it's military grade, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Her husband was from the Royal Guard, so wouldn't put it too past you. So
let's continue.
All right.
So is that all you want to say?
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
Thank you.
Let us be moving on. What happened to the what? What happened to the no? Where's what? YouTube? Where's YouTube? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go.
What happened? What did you do?
It's fine now. Don't worry about it.
I also heard something that sounded like fighting and went to investigate.
What I saw, it was horrible! That little filly had tripped Royal Order, and when he landed, the statue base impaled him! She ran off in a panic afterwards.
If only I'd gone after him sooner, instead of waiting behind like he'd asked
Oh, I love that shaky
Sugar
Stamp pose. It's so
You look really terrified.
Yeah.
So you two
Yeah.
saw the grisly scene unfold before your very eyes?
Yes, I can still see him.
TheAljavis fade out technique.
Oh my gosh, are we really adding that to our repertoire?
Yeah.
One thing that came to mind when I first saw this is like, how did Skulu not notice any of them when she was literally when she crashed in front of the entrance? I thought that was weird, honestly.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
She crashed around the entrance where the statue was, so I thought it was kind of weird at that
She
time.
didn't. That's not where she crashed. She crashed along the crossroads leading away from the statue, and then she ran out the rest of the way. And by that point, as explained in 2.8, I cannot say because Melody is here.
Sorry. I'm getting myself confused.
The timeline does make sense. Eventually.
That night, I happened to be watching the scene from above. The sound of fighting drew me in.
Sugar Step encounters a random encounter in RPG and just wanders into battle.
Oh, here. Uh-oh, it's starting. Uh-oh.
What?
What?
You'll see in a moment.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where I could watch what happened unseen.
Miss Devotion, where were you before you arrived at the statue area?
The crossroads. I'd gone searching for my husband, and so naturally I followed the path from the entrance. I noticed a blood trail leading down the path towards the statue when I got to the crossroads.
Sugar's scared.
I followed it.
Sugar's scared. Yep.
Okay, let's pause.
Yeah. No, let's not. Let's just explain what it is.
No, I need to explain this.
You can explain it.
Pausing on literally a paused moment is just double pauses, guys.
That's a Jeopardy.
I like how I
let's
beat
just
for a
get to the
pause and come
point.
back to a
Let's
pause.
just get to the point. So, we have absolutely no idea how this happened, but when we were premiering this episode 2.7, at this point, for some reason the premiere just glitched out.
Yep.
There was an entire section that just went poof, and then it just continues on like nothing happened.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah,
like
Premiere do that.
Yeah, we have no idea why the premiere did that, unfortunately.
But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that it carried over into the normal video as well.
Yeah. And you see the worst version of it in BOJ3 during that premiere. Like,
don't remind me of BOJ3. Oh god, what happened there?
Yeah, that happened with the SOE premiere. Thankfully, it did not carry over into the actual video, but that scared me when it happened.
Yeah.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, but ever since then, like whenever we prepare for premieres, we always got to do do a draft
a little bit
of the video.
Precaution, seeing if it's actually working.
Yeah, we gotta watch the entire draft to make sure that there's no such thing happening again. That when we premiere it, it'll be fine. Because you don't want that shit happening again.
This series is just cursed to have at least one thing go wrong at every opportunity. Be it just the normal episodes, BOJ, the Rectus commentary, watch party, everything is cursed to have one thing wrong with it.
Yep.
Look at this DC.
Y'all want to know why? It's because.
In the
y'all want to know why?
Oh my gosh.
All right, Overgrowth first, and then Melody.
Yes.
In the description of this episode, you actually can find what was lost by the YouTube glitch. Just a heads up in case if you didn't know that. I don't remember what it actually was, but you can find that.
It is there. Go to description for miscontext. I mean, not this description in its DC. You can because you gotta watch the actual episode. But
the only thing you find there is Discord links.
And what about you, Melody?
I was gonna say the reason y'all keep getting glitches is because 80% of your workflow is Adobe. Hello, fellow Adobe hater here.
It is true. Adobe sucks a lot, and I hate it.
Yeah, and y'all committed yourself to it.
It is true. But yeah, I believe that it is time for us to move on.
Can't wait to be free from the Adobe curse.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. I think it's time that we moved on. But now we gotta watch this glitch actually play out in real time.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have paused, guys. 'cause-
$50 again.
$50 from Fire Sky.
$50 again. Oh, wow.
It wouldn't be EOJ if something didn't break or go goofy. Eh?
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I was searching for my
Thank you for the $50.
Thank you for the $50.
And went to investigate.
Fire Sky, seriously,
they-
you thank you so much for the donations. Like, you're an immense help.
No, not in the slightest.
I wonder if they intentionally timed it so that this one went up when their other one went down.
Yeah.
$2 from Justin. When you're done with case
No,
two,
we
you
will not
fix
fix
the
the bug because that
will
will
not fix the
involve
bug.
re-rendering and re-uploading and losing the videos.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna lose
there's no
views
point.
if we if we re-render. If we could if YouTube could implement changing the file itself, then it would be fine. But we can't. We have to literally re-upload again, and I don't want to lose all those views.
This is
so.
a video publishing service, not a cloud video publishing service.
Yeah.
From what I heard of that scuffle, one of the
That would
parties
cost too
involved
much
was most
money.
Definitely royal order. Not to mention, I had already found blood. I believe now you can see why I was.
I also want to mention Fair Devotion having a baton, because I've always had this idea for a while that Turning does a lot of swinging with his little wooden sword, and I felt like, you know what, it'll be funny if Fair Devotion did some swinging too, but I don't know what. But oh wait, she's a teacher. Let's give her a baton. And I did just
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wonder what her
No,
bedroom
you go
life's like.
Someone in the chat named Justin Tran donated $2 asking, when you're done with Chase 2, will you fix
We
the
answered that.
We
We're not
already
gonna
answered
fix
that.
the bug. It makes us lose views, it makes us have to re-upload the video, therefore losing
Yeah.
views, comments, premiere, everything.
Yeah.
It is a small bug in the grand scheme of things, and honestly, there's no point in being a dead horse.
It's
We
no
just accepted that
BOJ3.
It's we accept it for what it is because in the end, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, the little thingy from the one game.
Yeah, from the one game.
There were 2 games, actually.
It looked like something occurred to you just now. After Sugar Stamp said she couldn't remember where Royal Order was impaled. Did you have something to add?
Something like that. I remembered how my husband fell.
How your husband fell?
I mean, I guess
love.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I love the way that her voice had to sound here for leading Sugar Stamp on. It's quite literally trailing off like that. It sounds like, a teacher where they're so if 1 + 1 equals 2, then 2 + 2 equals, and I really like it a lot.
But what Fair just
Yeah.
did, not
Getting that little teacher vibe.
but letting Sugar Stamp point it out, it's exactly what
I was just gonna say, I guess using a ruler makes sense too, but baton just sounds cooler.
If only I'd gone after him sooner, instead of waiting behind like he'd asked me to. Then I could have stopped this from happening.
Fair Devotion, I want to clarify something. The reason you went into the woods was to chase after your husband after he'd gone to look for your son?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Here's where it all begins to make sense. If what I'm thinking is true, the discord in their voices will tell me everything I need to know.
Is this part?
Really? Somehow, I find it hard to believe that was the only reason.
And another $5 from
Another
Rico's
$5.
too.
Royal Order was given a royal order by royal order to kill royal order to save royal order.
Wow, that's 5 times
A
royal
mouthful.
order.
That is a mouthful right there.
Reason to believe that Fair Devotion went into the woods for a
The,
reason
the
beyond
clone
what she told the court.
hired
And it
the
has to
original.
do this
No,
piece
the
of
original
work.
hired the clone to kill himself.
order.
I don't know what's going on.
It's royal order separation.
He's dead.
This travel
That's all that matters.
belonged to Royal Order, Your Honor. He'd taken
Oh,
with
it's
him when he had to
time.
make trips to Canterlot, which was quite frequently. But it's not the case itself that the court should be interested in. It's what we found inside.
And what did you find inside?
There are 2 items of note. The first is this planner. It belongs
$5 from me too. Royal order was given a royal order by royal order to
We
royal
read that
order to
already.
royal order.
We established that already.
A love letter to royal order.
I thought you
Sorry, I just
did
got
it
back.
twice for a second. Oh, okay.
This is the drama.
If anything, it plays into the joke. That was just
Yeah.
my clone.
What?
Oh, I love this part.
The drama.
Order in the court! Miss Sykes, are you implying that the victim, Royal Order, was having an illicit affair with one of these witnesses?
I don't need to imply anything, Your Honor. It states so in the letter.
The judge totally watches telenovelas on his off time.
Dude, obviously.
Stamp, is this true? Did you write?
And he's like mega into it too, like gets a glass of wine and everything.
I can't believe it.
Just in his like pink slippers.
You turn around and stab
I
me in
love
the necklace.
this scene a lot because it's like you have to be I had to be like realistic with it because most people are believing it, but also there you can still tell it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a great job on that.
Oh yeah,
Even
I want to give
during the
props to your ability to convey 2 different tones at once between 2 different characters at once.
Fakest cat fight ever.
I
Actually,
remember
I
like
also
in
expected
the
more yelling, but it just seemed a bit played out. Way it went.
What's the point?
I think it's
that's the
I
point.
think it's because it feels like they're reading lines from a script. Like I could tell that immediately.
Is that the point?
Like it's like Katie did that like literally.
I know.
Well,
Imagine.
She read the lines like of the script, like she was reading the lines of the script.
I meant like in the video, it just seemed a bit as if like the whole thing's like some sort of story, not real. Especially since it got to the point where Athena can't tell any emotions.
Like right here.
Yep.
But I'm not hearing any actual shock or rage in their voices.
So I'm stating the obvious. Sorry about that.
No. That's the point of the DCs. Like we talk about this stuff.
Witnesses, you will calm yourselves or be escorted from the
I wonder what she was about to say.
Prosecutor Luna.
Athena just has a ton of insights that
Unexpected
It's hardly
Something like that.
unexpected, Your Honor. We too had examined the travel case in question and found the letter the defense presented. As such, I am more intrigued than surprised by what this opens up.
I remember like the chat, like after seeing the quote unquote cat fight, they're like, wait a minute, this feels fake. Is it, like even like 1 or 2 people were like, wait, she's used like, are they like faking it or did like something happen or some shit?
See, I can tell, like, one of my, like, hidden talents is just being able to tell vocal language, like, absurdly well, and so I could tell off the bat, like, this feels like bullshit.
Yeah.
It was initially believed he made 2 of himself to seek out his son.
I did, like I said earlier, I did expect a little more emotional output, like yelling, for example, when the issue was confronted.
So that one version could stay with his wife, Fair Devotion, and the
I noticed this.
with his other partner.
Oh god, I'm noticing like small bits of the Luna rig. Just
Don't talk about the lunar rig. Don't talk about the lunar rig.
Don't talk about the lunar rig.
About the lunar rig.
We don't talk about the Luna rig.
Explanation for this entry.
But that's not all that's revealed by this, Your Honor.
There's more.
oh, there we go. It fixed itself.
Envy, no.
We know. We don't talk about it.
Hello, MV. Well, I'm here and I'm talking about it.
Just put a pin on it.
Involving the context of this affair. And
Pin the tail on the pony.
an aspect of this trial.
Pin the rig on the Luna.
Miss Sykes, for that is what you are arguing, isn't it?
She's not going in.
Miss Sykes?
Athena? I know what you're trying to hint at, Prosecutor Luna, and I'm sure you mean well, but I'm afraid I can't follow that path.
Defense.
To be honest, at this point, I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I didn't know what the right move was, what Athena was going to do.
Your Honor, I don't believe we need to confirm anything.
It just seemed
yet.
anything's guess at this point.
Yeah.
I think I had a feeling that she was gonna disregard there too because she could tell she was bullshitting.
Focus on another aspect of the planner.
Another aspect?
She wanted to go her own way.
If you look at the
And it's so good.
There are actually 2 entries.
Yeah, like I noticed like around here with the presenting of the evidence, like, oh, she's just gonna dismantle this whole thing because this is obviously a sham, or like this feels everything about this felt planted. Mainly because it was all when it's too convenient, I get suspicious. Everything about this was way too convenient, so like even without like the fake sounding deliveries, I would have been suspicious.
20 minutes prior.
Yes, I can see that, Miss Sykes. But why does that matter?
It matters because in that time frame, Sugar Stamp was not watching the scene as she previously testified. Instead, she was elsewhere. Namely,
I like that grin.
clearing to meet with Royal Order.
Oh,
Royal Order?
Your Honor, it's important that we account for every witness's movements that night. As such, the defense formally asked to hear further testimony
music!
from Sugar Stamp.
Yeah.
What? Golden Pixie! Just what are you up to? Sugar Stamp's meeting with Royal Order is irrelevant.
Unfortunately, Prosecutor Luna, that is something neither you nor I can decide. Not without hearing.
Ace Attorney music really just goes hard.
They hit. They hit.
I know I shouldn't take too much satisfaction in that curveball.
The music, it's just very fitting for the emotion, especially the suspense one.
I think we will find that what she has to say is relevant, due to what she confessed to us in the detention center yesterday.
She confessed? To what?
You don't mean...
Your Honor, we can't forget that on the night in question, there were 2 royal orders and that both of them died. While this initial testimony attempted to shed light on one of those deaths, what Sugar Stamp told us reveals what happened to the other. Namely, that he was killed by Sugar Stamp herself.
I gotta redo this.
Oh, the passive voice.
Background. There's a flaw in it, and I hate it.
What flaw?
It's I can't point it out right now, but like I hate it.
Athena, where are you going with this?
Artist moment.
Yeah, I'm just having an artist moment.
Trust me, Twilight. This will likely be.
I just noticed something about the 3D model, particularly in the judge. Are the eyes model concave?
Start seeing this case in a whole new
I'm not
light.
sure.
Like the shadow of the judge's eyes when they were surprised, it looked like a 3D modeling method where you make the eyes like a dish rather than like a bulge out of the model.
Yes, Your Honor?
Well, I never really gotten into like the models themselves. You have to ask like Sam and Shannon for that.
Okay.
And I believe MV went into them too.
Like I know that's a common NPR like method of modeling to make the eye shading a little easier to do.
I went to meet Royal Order at the time we agreed on, 10:10 p.m. We talked for a little.
I just noticed
He told me his
a
plan
bit
of leaving me with
the voice being a bit off on that part earlier.
I couldn't think. I killed him then and there using a letter opener that I carried with me. After he was dead, I removed his armor, then decided to carry the body to the castle ruins by flying it there. Then I flew out of the forest. While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other Royal Order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further shift the blame.
I don't figure it out on 2.8, but something I noted in Sugar Stamp is she has to have some sort of manic thing or some sort of disorder going on, because it feels like a split personality thing is happening here.
Well, she's voiced by the same actress as
Well, aside from the Fair Devotion, it feels like there are 2 different Sugar Stamps that we're dealing with, and not in a clone sense.
A sweet one and a crazy one, you mean?
Yeah.
I personally think it's more just one's kind of more of an act and one's like actually her.
Time we agreed on.
I think the one you see in Choose 6 in the detention center is Sugar Stamp at her most inherent.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
There are many interpretations to this reading.
A little bit. He told me he
But yeah, it feels like there's a Sugar Stamp that's not really there, and then like Sugar Stamp's true voice coming out sometimes, and then the Sugar Stamp that's acting.
Sussy Stamp, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I was so mad. Believe me, guys, I'm so mad. I love the delivery of that line, Katie.
I was so mad.
Well, I did see the children while I was flying from the direction of the castle to the clearing.
The children.
James is saying she is a kind, soft mare, and I will not accept anything else.
Those two other fillies. Diamond Tiara.
James is part of the sugar stands.
They looked like they were talking
Okay.
about something.
I am the leader of the sugar stand. No.
What time did you see them?
All hail sugar stamp.
Oh, hell.
Sugar stamp, more like sugar stands.
Blackmail negotiations before they'd gone
Die.
What?
Sugar stamp?
Ah, so you're approaching me, huh? I can't be kind to you without you getting closer.
Did you see any pony else before you landed at the clearing?
I love the thinking pose.
Look at that face.
Yeah, I love that.
How could that be the face of a killer?
You'll be surprised.
Scrunchy face.
Squinchy. But yeah, no, I think the craziness is the acting, in my opinion. But
Well, yeah. To be fair, the letter, the planner is planted, so it's hard to tell if she does have anything crazy going on. Because if the letter was,
How long after you met and talked with Royal
if the letter was genuine, it could. If the letter was genuine, there could be water for the crazy theory. But since that's called into question, that I can't rely on that anymore. But I still think it might. I think. Yeah, I think it could still be possible, but remains to be seen for me.
It seems a bit like she's trying to be mad, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the crazy is an act for this. I think the cheeriness is also kind of like partly an act, and she's actually just kind of sad.
I think she's dissociating a lot. Part of it is acting based on whatever fair devotion is controlling, and part of it is just she's just dissociating.
It's like an actor improvising on stage.
Everything is fine, guys. Everything is fine. If I tell myself everything is fine, everything will be fine.
That's just what her mindset is right now.
That lines up with the autopsy report's initial findings.
You were saying?
Oh no, I love the whole, like, oh, we're talking about how I committed murder!
Yeah.
That's creepy. I'm not gonna lie, that was creepy.
Yeah, no one's that casual when confessing. That's why I knew from the jump something was up. Like from the jump, I took these guys' testimonies with a huge grain of salt.
But why would you do such a thing? Were you really that angry with him?
My name is Deatherina and I'm fine.
You do, Miss Devotion?
More leading. Let's go.
I like how Fair was just instantly cut right into the testimony like that.
Yes, Deva?
No, yeah, even though she's the one who's supposed to talk.
You decided to move the body after you'd killed.
I also like to point out, I like that the left side of the witness group is a bunch of crew members.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on the other side as well.
Would have been difficult.
Since I knew I don't have one.
Most, if not a lot of these background ponies, with a few exceptions, are crew-specific ponies.
Yeah.
I figured as such.
Do I need to design my own version if I want to have my own character in the background like that?
I mean, if you want.
But I only realized he was still.
Oh my god! I realized mine would probably be tricky to implement since my pony Sona is a crystal pony, which is fun to do in show style, not because they have a lot of gradients.
best bet at
I think mine would be fairly simple. I saw a pony that's similar to my look, glasses, hair, that sort of thing. So I don't think it would be too hard.
What kind of pony would it be? Earth pony, unicorn, Pegasus?
Let's move on.
I'm just a simple grayscale unicorn.
Can't put Kieran's in this because Kieran's don't exist yet.
I'm always in my head thinking of stuff, so maybe unicorn? Probably, I'm not sure. Then again, I like to run, so maybe Earth Pony? I'm not sure.
You know, before I would usually say Earth Pony, but nowadays I am more of a pony type that doesn't exist in NLP kind of person.
Did you see any pony else while you were flying?
Yeah, but yeah, my son is a crystal Pegasus, so like the trickiest thing about putting that in the stand is probably just going to be the gradient mane, which I think would be fine enough to design.
By the way, this still my favorite still ever so far. Because like,
yeah, I really like that.
I thought that's like my best still. Like I did the background so good and the shading and everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it's in black and white, so you only get to see it after a certain point.
Yep. Yep.
What's your process of that? By the way, do you do it in color and then convert it to black and white, or do you do it like?
I do it in color and then do it to black and white.
I see.
Right.
I was talking in the chat with James, and funny story. The Deva nickname, I could not pronounce it right. I thought it was Deva for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, you guys had to cleanse all of the wrong pronunciation.
Yeah.
Or at least can be
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deva.
Deva.
Castle ruins. Did you stop?
Deva.
No, I didn't.
Really? Not even at a certain zebra's hut? In order to deliver a certain letter?
Letter?
I believe the defense is referring to this one, witness.
Oh, it's a smash invitation.
Luna Pog.
Confirmed for Smash.
I would like to resubmit it to the court record, Your Honor.
The court accepts it into evidence.
Zakora in Smash.
Zakora would kick it in Smash.
Yeah.
It was a night of the crime. How could you forget?
She's a freaking druid monk. Like, she would kick absolute ass.
Oh, I agree.
And when did you make that stop then?
It was after I placed the body at the
No, I want to talk. I'm biased towards zebras.
opener and put it back in my bag.
Oh, wait, no.
As some may know.
I went to deliver the letter.
I see.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
Got a letter.
Wonder where it's from.
Wonder where it's from.
Let's move on. Witness, you moved the body and delivered the letter. Did you mean to leave the forest afterwards?
Yes, I did, but... While flying over the crossroads, I saw Scootaloo crash into the other royal order. After she left, I moved the scooter and wagon to further
What
shift
minute
the
are we at, Al? Incidentally.
We're at
But why though? Why go so far to
46.
pin the blame on Scootaloo?
Okay.
We're almost halfway done.
To be
Oh,
honest,
thank God.
even after everything you told us, I still find it hard to believe that you'd go that far. I mean, I thought you loved kids.
I was still watching. I like literally just finished watching this on double speed before I joined the call last night.
So,
It doesn't matter what you think. I did it, and I confessed, and that's that.
Then why did you decide
It didn't
to
really
leave the
sound
forest
convincing at that point.
It was because of what I saw before I met with Royal Order.
Yeah, no, it's clear that
Blackmail.
it's clear that she's not the mastermind here, and that something else is going on.
Ruins. I knew I could pin the murder on them and make the ruins look like the real murder scene. It's what Royal Order deserved after what he did to me.
Oh, that line's so fake.
It's what he deserved.
Every time I hear it, like, my acting self wants to die. Like, it's done like that on purpose, but it's like, oh.
For what she did. to get back at Royal Order for
I mean, that is a talent in itself to intentionally sound fake because the character is trying to sound. You're acting like a character who's acting like a character.
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like another bit of show insight. There was an episode where Rarity was having beef with Applejack or whatever and became a country pony or whatever, and the voice actors had to put on like a British accent, Rarity putting on a bad country accent. So they had to do a British person doing a bad country accent, a double layered accent for that.
Double accent.
Shit like that. And shit like that's impressive.
That still bothers me. But unless I can prove that that isn't what she saw, this won't get me anywhere. And Luna knows it.
Let's return to the witness testimony.
As for what I did at the castle before I saw the crash, I removed the letter opener and put it in my bag. Then I went to deliver the letter.
Objection!
Finally, the objection.
You messed up.
The letter opener
You can tell by Widget, Athena's really angry.
victim's wound from the body and
Yeah, this is like the first objection of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something
It's been over 40 minutes.
Oh, 1-2.
Oh, we don't talk about 1-2 in this episode.
On what grounds of defense? The witness clearly described her actions that night. She killed Royal Order, disposed of his armor, and moved the body, letter opener and all, to the castle, all to pin the crime on Turning Page and Scootaloo. Afterwards, she flew back to Sakura's hut in order to deliver that letter. I see no contradictions in her movements.
It's not her movements that are contradictory. It's the letter that was in her bag. Or more accurately, the envelope.
The envelope?
Sugar Stamp said she'd placed the letter opener in her bag after she
Oh,
moved
yeah,
the
this
body,
part.
and that after doing so, she went to deliver the letter.
I love that in just this series and in Ace Attorney games. Just like, you fucked up your testimony. All right, sorry, let me fix that. It's just like,
yeah,
as if that isn't just straight perjury.
After all, look at the inside
Straight.
of the bag. It's coated.
I can only imagine how hard it is to instantly come up with a story that makes sense, that clears up all contradictions right in the middle of trial. That must be very
that's not
difficult.
how court works.
Yeah, like as soon as they found out you're lying, your whole testimony's basically in the water.
Yeah, I mean, I know, it's really funny. I'm playing through the trilogy with someone whose mom is a lawyer, and every moment it's like, that's not how court works. That's not how court works.
If you have any knowledge of the legal system, it's like Ace Attorney games are humorous to fucking pick apart till high hell.
Yesterday regarding when the letter was delivered. First, the fact that we found this letter in
The biggest name thing is that both sides don't have all the evidence before trial.
Yeah, especially like the cases where you literally walk in and the only evidence you have is your badge. Like,
Oh, tutorial.
Just like yeah, that's not how court works. Like, before the trial even begins, like, you're given time to analyze all the evidence, both defense and prosecution. So that's always the funniest part to me. Just like, you don't just present evidence like this in court. That's not how it works.
yeah, I do.
It always seems like the prosecution has everything figured out already, always in every trial. So it seems like one-sided.
That this letter arrived on the night of the murder itself.
Like, it makes for fun gameplay, but it is absolutely not how the court of law works, at least in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it does have a whole, like, it's supposed to be like a dystopian law system, I believe.
I think it's supposed to be a mix of American and Japanese law, from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's really interesting how the localization, like, basically it was as if the like immigrant laws were not as strict, and if like California kind of was able to become a lot of Asian culture. Fun thing.
I see.
Furthermore, we also learned
I
yesterday.
highly recommend
I
looking at Janet Sue's like
From what I
Q&A.
remember, I think a lot of the issues we point out in like the legal system in Ace Attorney games, I'm not sure if all of it, but some of it I think comes from the Japanese legal system, which I don't think is as fair. From what I remember, take this with a grain of salt because
it's like
my memory's shoddy.
As far as I know, it's like it's a guilty till proven innocent kind of system.
Yeah, it's so yeah, Japanese law be funky if it's anything similar to an Ace Attorney game. God help you if that's the case.
If any legal system is like Ace Attorney, it would just be a headache. Like,
It'll be great for spectators, though.
You don't mean to say
court drama.
I
do, Prosecutor Luna.
There was the shocked expression from the judge again.
We agree that it's impossible for there to be no blood on this envelope, correct?
Yes, I find it a perplexing situation.
True. And one that we can solve if we just consider one other possibility. At the time that the letter was in the bag, the letter opener did not have any blood on it at any point.
It didn't have any blood on it? But how can that be?
There we go.
I can see the eyes.
Yeah, like you see how the shadows kind of look like it's a dish. Like since I sometimes work with NPR models and when I do 3D, like I caught onto that and just like, oh, they use this too in these models.
And if that's the case, then Sugar Stamp's confession about her killing Royal Order and
It's a very smart technique to make them blink better.
Confession is a complete and utter fabrication in and of itself.
No, really? Oh my god! I'm so shocked! That was the twist of the century!
I thought Ferris Devotion's baton's gonna snap at that point, the way she was holding it.
The baton is infinite. It shall never break.
I am, Your Honor. Objection!
Aw.
defense. That is absolutely preposterous of you to claim. Need I remind you that the blood found on the letter opener matched royal orders? It could only have gotten there when the witness stabbed him with it.
Objection! That doesn't explain why the
I love the music.
no blood on it. So long as that contradiction
199 for Justin Trent. In every count section, I like the slamming desk.
It really looked like Luna wanted to charge in towards Athena at that point. She was so angry.
Luna looks like she's about to stab a bitch.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I believe now would be a good time for us to resummon the.
Oh, Justin Tran, $2. In every count session, I like the slamming desk. Oh yeah, the slamming desk is such a staple of the series.
I also love how like Athena gets her double slam.
Yeah.
When she's
Remember the great Ace Attorney series, where Ryunosuke just slams on the desk and only gets like a light tap, and just he looks at his hands after that.
When I was playing the Great Ace Attorney, it was such a good, like, whenever he had an actual slam, I was like, oh!
By the way, Joe has two things he would like to say about this thing over here. So, Joe, if you would like to talk.
So normally it's good practice for a voice actor to read the script ahead of time. However, in this particular case, I think I had only skimmed over it really to find out where all my lines were. So when I got to this particular part, I was reading the direction as to how Private Eye was supposed to be acting at this point. And I really didn't know at first what I was getting myself into. Let's have a listen. Private Eye takes a stand. Something is immediately noticeably different about him. He is no longer his usual calm aura. Okay, so he's not calm, but in what way is he not calm? Is he, like, panicked? Is he angry? Is he upset in some other way? Like, what's going on here? Thankfully, I had Mr. G there to direct me on these. I think at this point, I was just thinking, okay, maybe Private Eye is just upset because at this point it feels like I've explained this so many darn times to you, Athena. Like, why do you not understand it?
And one more point.
Okay, I know I just said a big long spiel, but I thought that my original take for this line was kind of humorous. Here you go. Let's see. Agitated.
Forgive me, my lord, but for what reason have I been summoned?
Sounds a little less agitated and a little bit more
Absolutely livid.
I love that. I love that original take. Sounds like a Darth Sidious.
Yeah, it sounds like Darth Sidious or Starscream or yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's hilarious.
Prosecutor Luna has requested that you provide testimony.
She has. About what?
Original take is unlimited power.
Regarding the forensics surrounding the murder weapon, the letter opener. The Golden Pixie has suggested that it cannot be the murder weapon. You are to demonstrate why it must be, detective.
I see. Very well. If it would please the court. Truthfully...
Ah, fuck, I pulled a Javis, I was muted.
Nice.
I wanted to point out a thing that Katie posted in chat. Did Luna call to Private Eye kind of knowing what Athena wanted, or was Luna doing a very helpful coincidence to Athena's plan?
Luna did not want to follow what Athena wanted. She was upset and she thinks Athena's going off script, so she's trying to use Private Eye to get her back.
But what was Luna's intention with bringing Private Eye in?
To prove that the weapon was the letter opener, therefore Sugarsnap is the killer. Therefore, to get Sugarsnap declared guilty, so that her plan comes to fruition. Hence this.
I'm not so sure.
And Athena went, what if we go down a completely different route, actually?
You're not the scriptwriter anymore. I'm on my own path.
Facts are irrefutable.
So you still intend to go down this route?
I do.
You may be the director, but I'm the star of this show, honey.
Thank you for your testimony, detective. Defense, you may begin your cross-examination.
Both the hole in the helmet and the wound match the letter opener, and the blood matches the victim's. So, if the letter opener is fake evidence, how would all of that be possible? There's only one thing I can think of.
Haha! Athena is the new DM.
I get it.
That's basically what we're doing with the upcoming Sunday, so that's kind of funny. But anyways.
Meaning it must be the murder weapon.
How do we know for certain?
Athena is the captain now.
Yeah.
Because, Miss Sykes, several ponies tested it individually. There's no doubting the same consensus being reached by so many.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Devotion.
Surely you knew this already.
Devotion.
Why are you insisting?
Devotion.
It's not useless. It's the tried and
Trying to make a little small point that Joe wanted to say. So while this plays out,
I remember having a lot of fun with these lines. As we all know by now, Private Eye is not the same in terms of his character as Professor Layton, and so it was interesting to see him getting a little bit
in some cases there were
Professor Layton never would.
Multiple moments where prosecution judges point out that they were getting to it, stop interrupting.
Slightly losing my patience at this.
That was always funny.
Yeah.
Because, Miss Sykes.
It was really interesting to use the Professor Layton voice in ways that I'd never had before.
But yeah, as Joe said, like this is not Professor Layton. You may have his voice, but it's not him, and it's so cool to hear Joe having fun with him. So,
yep, he's becoming his own character.
And what were some of those notable characteristics?
Oh, I remember this part. I had to do some research into track marks in order to give Private Eye an actual thing to respond to.
Just so you know, most people couldn't understand what Joe was saying because we had talking over.
Yeah, I'll be sure to point it out better. Or I'll pause.
Leave trace impressions.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. Be careful when we're playing it, that it's playing in stream when it's not paused.
Right.
Stamp's bag. Along with that, on the outside of the wound, we did not find a hilt impression.
But yeah, the general gist of what Joe was saying is,
So that is another
like, unlike Professor Layton, Turning Page gets impatient and is sort of becoming its own character, and he was having a lot of fun with that.
Turning Page, you mean Private Eye.
I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing it?
Freudian slip.
I don't know how many times I've done that now, but I always get their names swapped, specifically Private Eye and Turning Page.
God, it's because, you know, Turning Page is the son of Private Eye, and they have a very strong resemblance, I understand.
But yeah, someone pointed out in the chat, you know, it's kind of the same way Sonata is not Mia Fey. So it's kind of nice to see Private becoming his own character here.
Further supporting
Yeah, I remember there was someone in the team that's confused
But only the helmet itself was found.
playwright with overall concept.
But not the armor.
Yeah, like, I think the reason I get them confused a lot is because Private Eye looks like a pony who would be called Turning Page. Right?
He looks like
as a
pony to me,
reader,
to be honest.
or a bookworm.
You're saying he looks like he's leather? He's a horse guy. That's kind of offensive.
Like, he looks like he would be called Turning Page, and I think that's like literally the only reason why I keep calling him Turning Page.
God, Melody, you watched the entirety of Case 2 of the 2-7 over the course of a week. How do you not know who Private Eye is?
Correction, over the course of a day.
Correction. I haven't watched 2-7 in a while, so how come I know this but you don't?
Because you've been in the crew for like several years longer than I have.
That's besides the point. You have more recent knowledge than I do. I live in the future. You live in the past.
all the more reason why you know more than me.
But I forget the past.
No, like quite literally, when I was preparing for this DC, I had to like basically skim over all of 2-7 because I was like, oh, I know both my characters were on the stand in this episode. What else happened?
I was about to do it again. Private Eye got called out for being a phony.
I suppose that could be one way, yes.
Golden Pixie, don't tell me you're suggesting.
Can take a shot every time I call Private Eye Turning Page. Don't do that, you'll die.
No, that's quite impossible, Miss Sykes.
Oh? And why would that be?
The bog itself, where the helmet was found, was not considered relevant until the end of the previous trial. It was sealed off once that was determined. For some pony to have brought it there for us to find, they would have had to bypass that seal. An impossibility, I'm afraid.
It's not impossible if you're part of the team.
That's a true reason I joined the team, to tamper with evidence.
Oh no!
Oh, you too?
Welcome to the club.
You wanted to be a forger?
Exactly. I mean, I am, part of my job description is drawing up evidence, so.
I'm sorry to say that you're completely
okay, that's fair.
Last statement.
Devotion.
Don't say.
So it's not like I'm not making evidence up.
True that no pony could have gotten in. One pony in particular would have had access to the scene. And by having access, they would have had the chance to bring the helmet there to plant it, all in order to support Sugar Stamp's testimony.
Giangi.
You don't mean...
Miss Sykes, who could this...
Oh yeah, that little like
Luna
angry
looks
face
really
was
angular in that
edited in,
shot.
but that was edited in.
It's the pony who ordered that the bog be
What was
sealed off
edited
in the
in?
first place.
The angry face that Luna did.
Thought so.
Oh. Oh, the song!
Yeah, this was really, really huge.
Yeah, I want to point out like Joe had something to say about that too. Wait, what number is it? This is 1, 2, 3,
Mute yourself.
4, 5.
Oh my god, Aljavis!
This is 0.6. Anyway, here you go. Talk, Joe.
I think this surprised me a good amount when I finally got to this part. This was not something that I was expecting when I got to it. If you want to hear my exact reaction, this is what I said. Private Eye! What? I'm sus? Though I guess I must not have been too taken aback, because seconds later I was cracking jokes while I was adjusting my gain for the next line where I'm like, gah! You know. Might have to turn my volume down just a little bit.
Gah! My tea!
More than shocked at my character's actions, I was more curious to see how the fans would react, and I was not disappointed.
Oh, I love Joe. He's great.
I'm sus.
I'm sus.
I'm sus.
I love that he
needs to-
actually says sus.
This is just like in The Force Awakens when that one stormtrooper says traitor.
Yeah.
And it's the only line that I care about.
Hey, EOJ fan artist, draw Private Eye saying, I'm sus?
Oh my god. Well, you heard it here. You heard it here, folks. Do it.
Hey, someone commission Al to do it again.
I still have to
commission
make
another
Apollo.
artist.
I still have to make Apollo X Rarity art first.
Oh
Shut
my
up.
what?
Shut up.
Yes, that's commission.
No. Shut up. I'll kill you.
That's true.
I also take commissions, by the way.
Hey, I
gotta-
don't know how to
I
say
gotta
it. I
plug
don't know how to
myself.
say this,
Shameless
Al, but she's my
self-promotion.
favorite. You can't do
Shameless
this to me.
self-promotion. Shameless self-promotion. I also take commissions. Please, I'm broke.
I'd also mention another like EOJ commission, but I don't know if I just say it here.
To conceal the helmet.
No, you should not.
I should not. I should not.
Overgrowth. Pat is threatening to
Oh, I know.
fucking microwave you. You're gonna be microwaved.
Oh no! I'm gonna be shoved in the microwave.
Also,
Have you
quick
guys seen
question,
that
'cause-
one, like video of Edgeworth being microwaved. That's me.
No.
What?
Oh, I know that video.
This Jared understands me.
Of course I understand you. Blah blah.
Quick question, Overgrowth.
Not seen.
God damn it, Pat.
How
Oh god, there's
God
high
damn it,
Pat.
Shoot.
Yeah, there's that.
Quick question,
Okay,
Overgrowth, because I don't know. Do you use your real name on stream?
I mean, I think it's public knowledge by now.
All right, I wanted to make sure before I accidentally dox you or something.
Am I real?
Are you real?
Oh, sorry to, this scene right here. This scene was, I always thought this scene was good. How he just casually snuck evidence away from the royal guards.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought it was good.
Turning page is hot here.
Excuse me?
Private Eye.
Private Eye?
Private
Excuse
Eye.
me?
Private Eye.
Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Answer me now, and throw me down the river. I will keep. I don't
is
know
on.
why.
This is live. This is live.
I've been caught in 4K. Sue me here.
What did he do?
He
I
called
misnamed
Turning
him
Page
again.
hot, but he meant Private Eye.
He called Private Eye Turning Page.
I misnamed him again. Fucking clip that, cancel me, throw me down the river.
Seriously though, this whole scene of Private Eye fabricating evidence was a real shocking point for me. I never even imagined Professor Layton parody character to fabricate evidence like that.
Yeah, using his own evidence against him.
That did catch me off. Like that was one thing I didn't predict for sure.
It's like,
In fact-
I'm gonna use your own evidence against you.
In fact, Joe
It's like
has something.
Professor Layton's the real villain.
Yeah. In fact, Joe has something to say about this particular part. If you want to listen.
I immediately had a reaction to this one in session. Here you go.
You snake, Athena! How dare you use the evidence that I gave to you in confidence? I am going to sue you for all you're worth.
And that's all he wanted to say.
It contains the blood of the victim.
And I'm still not over being canceled right now. I'm too busy being canceled on Twitter.com.
Oh no.
But
yeah.
Private Eye. Get that name in my mouth. Private Eye.
Elements of Justice is not associated with that previous statement in any way, shape, or form.
Elements of Justice is associated with the statement that Private Eye is hot.
Exactly.
Oh, he's a dashing stallion.
Was a member of the Royal Guard after all. So Canterlot was where he was undergoing an autopsy.
Sorry, Melody, you said it. It's out there. I know. Cancel me, throw me down the river, do what you want. I'll live, and I will come back to haunt you all.
But yeah, no, I really do like the twist that we wouldn't be able to pin down, like, Private Eye here without using his own evidence.
Yeah.
This scene,
God,
this
that's so
scene right here,
This
this scene right here, it was just wow. It was just wow for me. It's
Not
like,
It was so he had all the time
Uh-huh.
What?
needed to fabricate
No, you go ahead.
evidence to support sugar stamp-
I was like, I was not expecting this at all. I was hoping something big would come up in this episode, but not like this. Private Eye, the man who's been the pony, who's been helping the defense throughout the entire case, was a bad guy, was a forger.
I just
honestly didn't expect
Just goes to show that just because he looks like Professor Layton doesn't mean he is Professor Layton.
Yeah,
Clearly.
And
he is also not turning page.
I'm glad you understand.
Oh, I'm
said
glad
he
you
was.
understand.
have to be called into question. In large part, that is because of their association with Private Eye. This planner also shares that characteristic.
It does.
Miss Sykes, you mean to say... But that
Justin says every time they slam the desk, he does the slamming too. What kind of slamming, Justin?
And the writing in the journal matches royal orders. I've checked and double-checked that one personally.
It's like little hints like those that shows like, yeah, he's probably in on it.
Yeah, soon as I heard that in the flashback, just like, oh yeah, all this is in question.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, at this time, I do not think we.
I also do like something that James mentioned of like Private Eye having mirrors to like Gregson poses.
Yeah.
I won't elaborate on that, but
Inside be compared to that of both Royal Order
Ooh.
and Private Eye.
I agree. That is definitely the best course of action. Prosecutor Luna, do you have any objections?
He's like, what the fuck is going on?
Prosecutor Luna?
She's completely out of the loop of everything that's happened.
She is not in control.
To the defense's request, Your Honor.
Very well. Bailiff, see to it that the planner be retested.
Commercial break.
Prosecutor Luna, have the planner and horn writing been tested?
Usually there will be an ad that would pop up at this type of moment.
What are the results?
That would be a perfect place for mid-roll, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the perfect place for mid-roll ads.
Thinking of forging evidence? Just call Saul.
This episode of VOJ is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
But rather that of Private Eye.
No!
We've done it, guys. We've successfully invaded the algorithm.
You have it, Your Honor.
Hell yeah, exactly.
That not only did Private Eye tamper with the facts of this case, but also that Sugar Stamp's story cannot be taken as the truth.
Yes? What do you have to say for yourself?
The judge is like extremely angry at the detective.
oh, it's me.
And you thought 2 was too much? Here is free.
Devotion?
Oh, it's our theme. I gotta talk.
Now as it were yesterday, Miss.
Damn.
Oh, boy.
Okay. I don't even remember I asked for a pause or not, so you can decide whatever.
You did pause it. So.
Oh, okay. Everyone will have to listen in silence for the next 2
Yep,
minutes
you
as I
gotta
ramble on
talk
about
about 'em.
music.
Oh shit! Wait! What are you doing?
Did you do it
What
again,
are you-
Javis?
What?
Why does it do that?
What? Why is it
Did you
dark?
click away?
No.
Why is
There
the
you go.
stream dark? Oh god, now it's gray.
No,
Oh,
it's meant to be great.
And I was
All
showing them everybody.
Let's put the
There we
music.
go.
Let's put the
That's
music.
pretty
All right.
good. 2 times in a row, man.
Anyways, so this is Fair Devotion's theme called A Life of Melancholy. The song playing is not the song, actually, because Al has an interesting taste in music. Anyway, Fair's theme is a very jazzy piece. It's heavily inspired by the Blue Lady theme from Last Window, The Secret of Cape West, which featured in previous episodes where Fair Devotion did show up. But something that viewers probably most likely did not notice the first time listening was I took a lot of inspiration from Joe Hisaishi's work in Princess Mononoke. This is very present in the choice of instruments and then also how I use them, particularly the woodwinds. The general aura is very similar to how I interpreted that main theme, which I think is called Princess Ashitika or Ashitaka in the actual soundtrack to the movie. So I use a lot of almost Hisaishi-esque like ensemble setups in order to get this particular theme to sound the way it is. Obviously there's the piano, but there's also the marimba, the clarinet, the flute, the oboe, the bassoon, the piccolo, and the cello. I threw in a bass guitar for fun and some other instruments like a harp, horns, hi-hat, and cymbals. I really love the oboe in this particular song too. The general goals for making the song, I wanted to make something that's obviously very melancholic, because Fair Devotion's kind of a tragic character. She's a mother and a recent widow, who's, over the course of not even 48, 72 hours, she's basically had her entire life just thrown up in the air. And she has no choice but to really stick to that life as it has happened. But I also wanted to use the song to demonstrate Fair's conniving nature and her ability to push forward. In essence, I wanted to ask 2 questions to people who would hear the song. How can I make people realize that Fair, despite how she's portrayed, is genuinely sad? But then also, how can I make it so that her sadness feels like a weapon? Some other points, the song is written in G minor, which made it very easy to incorporate another motif into it, which is supplied by the bass guitar. If you listen to this song, especially during the melody part, I knew it. I knew you were going to say it. If you listen to that part, there is a bass guitar playing a very basic chord progression. That chord progression is Turning Page's theme. And I've already talked pretty extensively in, I think, the DC for 2-1, how I'm not happy with how Turning's theme came out because it was my first piece. But the chance to reuse it here as sort of like a backing counter melody to Fair's theme, it does create this kind of cohesion. The sense of they are a family and they're the only ones left in their family. So yeah, I really like the fact that I was able to incorporate that into the actual chorus of Life of Melancholy. And surprisingly, it took people a couple months to realize it. I actually had someone DM me and say, wait, I'm hearing this bass guitar. Is this Turning's theme? And I was like, yes, you were the first one in months to actually realize that. So cool little Easter egg there. But yeah, that's generally all I'll have to say about it. I guess in terms of things I would change, I would love to have decreased the reverb and also improve the mastering of the woodwinds. Unfortunately, at the time of the song's creation, which I think at this point is almost a year old, honestly, I had not really figured out how to master things in a really strong manner. But that's just how it is with old tracks when you're starting off.
Yeah.
When you look back at it, you realize you had this kind of conscious awareness of the ineptitudes that you were blind to, which does make it a little bit hard to love a piece. But at the same time, I've had people tell me that they really like Fair's theme, both the jazzy aspect, but then also just how the soaring woodwinds really add to something in the chorus.
Yeah, I know. I remember you DMing me this song late one night, and I was like blown away. Like, this is fantastic, and it envelops Fair in my.
It does. It's her theme, and it definitely is a theme where I felt like,
especially with what was revealed in 2.9, says JPA.
Wait, 2.9?
2.9. So 2.9 hasn't come out yet. Wait a second.
2.9's not out yet.
That's why I found it humorous. It's like, wait.
I think that's a typo.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything I'd say about Fair's theme.
We got 'em all.
Life of Melancholy. Good song. Still has obviously the tracks of me as a beginning composer. But overall, it's still, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you have, Fair's or Turning Page's theme, because it kind of mirrors how Fair's design, like her hair ties are Turning Page's main color.
Yep.
Just everything all ties back. So
like her mane.
Die.
Is that all you want to say?
Yep. Let's move on.
Let us be moving on.
And you can get this soundtrack for $4.99 per 99.
Soundtrack's
You
not out
treated it
yet.
as a promotional ad.
We will release the OST just after Case 2. Or whenever.
That's gonna be a big ass album.
How many themes have you created till now?
Including the ones that have been that are for future stuff.
I think just
Over
Case
40.
2.
For Case
Like
2,
for Case 1 and 2.
Well, I didn't create any for Case 1.
There's nothing for Case 1. For
For
Case,
Case
2,
2, I created 16.
I made 1, 2.
I made 3 or 4, I think.
I think 3 or 4.
Right, and JTH made 1, and
2.
JTH made 2, right. He made Basics the Case and the Night one from the previous episode there.
Yeah.
And Jake
Something
Lowe,
that I'd like to compliment in the theme of this is it's like a perfect blend of My Little Pony and Ace Attorney, yet at the same time, when it wants to sound like Ace Attorney, it sounds like Ace Attorney, and when it wants to sound like My Little Pony, it'll sound like My Little Pony. It's like a perfect blend, which I think is
thank
great.
you.
You're welcome.
It's interesting trying to blend styles, especially when I admitted this takes a lot of inspiration from non-Ace Attorney, non-My Little Pony, from Joe Hisaishi. So, me as a composer and a musician has been an experience of learning how to recognize different styles and try to incorporate them into my own styling. And it pays off pretty well.
And we get more of Fair Devotion being a teacher, and that's why.
Devotion has just postulated was indeed my thought process.
Ba, 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 ba,
The freaking objection leading the witness, objection hearsay, and objection redundant question.
Look at Private's hair.
Every word.
Hair!
I confess. I planted the helmet and fabricated the weapon, as the defense stated. This was done for 2 reasons. To bring justice to royal order, and to
I like how Faraday wasn't just smiling during this.
She's like,
It's
I
a
told
bit
you so.
It's a bit uncanny in all honesty. It's like, yeah.
Have we already had this?
It's like, yes, confess.
What were you saying, Katie?
I don't think we've had this scene yet, but I do love the when Fair whacks her baton down in front of Private and he gets startled.
Yeah. Oh, and this is Joe's final talking point right here, unfortunately, but this is what he has to say when he saw the confession from Private Eye right now.
Mute
When I
thyself.
recorded this line, I actually thought that Private Eye was being legit and not holding anything back anymore. Not being deceitful at all. Oh boy. I only read just enough of the script to get context for my lines. So that's part of why.
And that's it. That's his last. Those are his final thoughts for this DC. Unfortunately,
We love you, Joe.
we
He
love you,
he passed
Joe.
away. He's fine, guys. He just that was
He's
his last
fine.
point.
He's fine. He just couldn't make it to the DC.
No, he's dead.
The last Joe recording is gonna be and this is my final will.
No.
What do you mean? All this while,
I think now that I'm hearing Joe talk about this, it suddenly makes sense why Private Eye was such a twist, because even he didn't know that was going to be a twist, so he couldn't factor that into his performance until he read it later. Which gives the impression that he was just really good at hiding it.
Wow.
This trial. Sugar Stamp may have indeed confessed to killing Royal Order, but we are not here to determine her guilt on the matter. Today we are here to determine the guilt of Miss Sweetie Belle in regards to her own crime. You should attempt to focus on that, and not this other matter.
Prosecutor Luna raises a fair point. This trial is about the alleged murder of Royal Order by Miss Sweetie Belle. And as such, we must focus on that case before diving into another.
No, I know Sugar Stamp's confession is a complete sham. And I know that her
I like how they just went through all this time, going through everything from Sugar Stamp's Fair Devotion, ultimately into one question. Where's this going?
That's what it is. Because technically, that entire thing was irrelevant, but... Yeah.
I mean, in the Great Ace Attorney, there's a whole last segment where they psychoanalyzed a couple that had no apparent relevance to the case, just cuz. So it's not out of line with Ace Attorney.
Thus far, we have heard testimony
Mainly with the summonation examinations.
Sugar Stamp. They claim to have witnessed the defendant accidentally kill Royal Order at the statue.
Speaking of the Great Ace Attorney, this is Great Ace Attorney music, isn't it?
It was because of the affair
No, it's not.
Really?
No, this is from Layton.
Ace Attorney versus Professor Layton.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fool.
The Great Ace Attorney is more...
Logic and Trick? I can't remember the name.
It's like magic. It's like the logic and tricks for that game.
Logic and Witchcraft.
Witchcraft, apparently.
Logic
See, I was close.
Okay.
I make too much music, guys. I get confused.
Perhaps more specifically, we should focus on Miss Fair.
God, I can't wait to it when I can geek out about that one song now.
I want to see 2-8 just so I can re-experience pain.
I see where this is going.
I want to watch 2-8.
I love that take, by the way.
I want to watch 2-8.
He's like, I have found something new about myself. He's like, oh. And on that day, Private Eye's heart grew 3 sizes.
I love that entire take, by the way.
Now Fair is trying to guide me as well. But to have me name
Private Eye is like, yes, ma'am.
Why?
Yes, ma'am.
I love it's like, you're definitely not gonna do this, are you?
It seems like
Wink, wink, nudge.
in order to back up our claim. But we can't hear from Sugar Stamp since she'll just double down on her confession. And Private Eye's already confessed to planting evidence to support her confession, because he believes it to be true.
In other words, further testimony about what Sugar Stamp supposedly did wouldn't help us. The witnesses or the prosecution could easily back up her confession.
Right. So, maybe if we heard testimony about something else that happened that night? From some pony else?
Something from some pony else.
Wiley's really getting into the attorney role, especially since case 1. She really knows what she was doing while learning from Phoenix and Athena at the same time.
Yeah.
Athena? I mean, it does make the most amount of sense, doesn't it?
It does, but
She's such a
I'm not sure
nerd.
that's the right step to take. There's still something off about Fair Devotion. I can't place my finger on it, but it's enough to make me hesitant to follow Luna's suggestion.
Well, what else can we do? This seems like the only course of action we have left. And Princess Luna's trying to grant us as many chances as she can to help Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle.
I honestly forgot Sweetie Belle was a part of this case watching this episode.
Oh my gosh.
It seems so fixated on Fair Devotion and Sugar Stamp, I can't really blame you.
Yeah.
It's like when I watch this, I was like, oh yeah, Sweetie Belle's here too.
Yeah, Sweetie Belle.
Right, this case is about her.
I'd like to ask something.
She only appeared at the beginning, and only at the end throughout this episode.
I like this. I like this twist coming up, though.
Sweetie Belle, after everything we've just heard, is there anything you would like to add? Anything that comes to mind?
I still don't know what the deal with Sweetie Belle
I love
is,
that
but
animation.
she's
Silent, I see. Very well then.
she mega sus.
The defense is ready to declare its next course of action.
Here it comes.
Oh, here we go.
fuck that.
More testimony from
3,
their devotion?
2.
I suppose if the defense really requires more from me.
No, Your Honor, we won't.
Wait, what?
You don't?
What game are you playing now, defense?
She really pulled her last name and said, "Psych."
Playing games.
Yep. Yep, she did.
Bears, sweeties, it doesn't matter anymore. I'll force the truth out, no matter what I have to do. No more secrets. It's time we finally heard Sweetie's side of this story. And if she won't cooperate willingly,
I imagine she'd be terrible at poker wearing Widget.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
the defense
Like again, here you get to see Widget being, you know,
Scared.
defending Sweetie Belle.
Yep.
So can
Boom.
we just talk about the whole fact that Athena was literally forced to do this because Sweetie Belle was not going to say flippin' words?
I mean, that's her prerogative, but it was still a fucking banger twist. So I was just like, oh shit, get it, Athena.
And as
Yes,
far as I know,
Sweetie Belle-
like, as far as I know, like, this is like the first time, like, Ace Turner's ever done something like this. Like, it's never been
I
done in Ace
will
Turner
give
yet.
Sweetie this at least. She is the most resilient character that Ace Attorney has ever seen because she was willing to be declared guilty and still remain silent, and that almost screwed over this entire case.
Yeah. So you're saying that in the entirety of Ace Attorney, there's never been a moment where, like, the step down strategy happened?
No.
No, never.
Huh.
I also really love that this is the first time that Fair Devotion has been caught off guard. Like, Sugar Stamp has at this point, but Fair has always been in control. And this is the first time in this episode that she's actually, like, been caught off guard.
It's okay.
Everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, shut up, bitch, I know what I'm doing, and I ain't playing your games.
And I really like how they're, you know, saying, you can't just stop now, but saying, like, well, you already said your piece. You know?
This whole case is about controlling everything just for a preferred outcome rather than the truth. So,
$5 from Justin Tran. Surprised that Rarity is not freaking out when Athena is stepping down from defending Sweetie Belle.
I'm shocked
Like,
that we
watch
haven't
her
done
get-
something like that, actually.
No, I would have loved if she just like fucking fainted and levitated the couch over.
$5 from Justin.
We already saw
Yeah, we
that.
just said that, Jerboe.
But like, cause like she erected back in case 1 with Coco. So I'm shocked that we never did anything for this to her like doing something to her sister.
She raises a fair point.
It's like, how could you?
Like, the best part is I just realized Rarity's still smiling in the fucking witness stand.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's just
she's smiling at Sweetie's soon-to-be guilty verdict at this point.
He's like, yes, I have a room to myself. Another room.
And then above Rarity, just the uncanny, just Phoenix death stare.
But we have to hear from Sweetie Belle somehow.
He stares into my soul every time I see him.
She's smiling on the outside, but furious on the inside.
Yes.
She's planning a murder.
I'm watching you. That was creepy.
It's like that one video where Rarity gets a commission and the commissioner comes in and says start over. And then
It
Rarity...
is literally at this point where Sweetie Belle, where all matters are off, and she's going to get the guilty verdict, where she's finally like, okay, fine, now I'll talk.
I mean, like, she was relying really hard on... She's hiding something, and she's relying really hard on, these guys are good defense attorneys, they'll get me out of this without me having to say anything. And then they pulled that on her.
Yeah.
Sometimes they call for
Honestly, I'm not sure what's going on in her mind. Did she think that the defense would just say she's not guilty without having to reveal anything what really happened that night?
I can't tell you that. Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But yeah, like Sweetie was thinking like I can get away with this without talking, and then Athena said, "Nope, my game now. Fuck Luna, fuck Devotion, fuck you, little bitch, and I'm playing my game."
Frustrated with Tweety Bell, like when she wasn't going to say things after the sidewalks were broken. This was so cathartic.
Good. In which case, I call for a 20-minute recess to allow all parties to prepare themselves. When we reconvene, we will hear Sweetie Belle's...
So how long were those 20 minutes in between 2.7 and 2.8?
7 months.
Time does work differently between the human world and the pony world, so it's
true.
fitting.
Oh, Al, stop! You gotta mute it. You gotta mute it, Al.
I know. I'm muting. We don't want to
We
get
got brief windows.
there. I'm muted. That way we don't have to deal with YouTube claiming us again. But yeah, I want to mention this credits because, as you can see in this first image, as it's coming up, slightly different color. Yep. And it's just Sweetie Belle by herself. Hold on, I need fucking music in the background.
The changing credits just seems so eerie. It's like what comes next is gonna be like terrifying.
Yeah, because like as you see here, like in the earlier credits, it was all the CMC like together, smiling or whatever. But over here, we see Sweetie Belle just by herself.
Ooh, $20 from
$20 from
Cocoon.
Only in Phoenix Wright could viable plot twists involve a clone. Only in MLP could a viable plot twist that is not a clone. Well, we gotta wait for 2.8 for that one. So like, but like, yeah, it is pretty funny how it works like that. But yeah, like it's like more purplish, bluish in here, and Sweetie Belle's by herself instead of with her friends. Because like technically, she is kind of like by herself this episode in 2.7. And then when we get to the next image, we don't see Turning Page with Royal Order anymore, and not smiling. He's looking at his broken sword.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's like realization what's really going on.
Yeah. And then we get to the next page. It's actually more lighthearted. We see Athena and Twilight in the other image.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. This was the one episode that I didn't edit.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had to like really do other things. But like what we did for this one is that like both Athena and Twilight are smiling and looking at each other, while in the earlier one they were looking away from each other, and the background image is like more bluish, while this one's like more pinkish, kind of like showing like I wouldn't say okay, it's love, but like
TwiThena is emboldened.
Yeah, and also like the art that you're seeing, like they're not done by Gion this time because he wasn't available at the time, so I had to do it. And I think they came out pretty well. I was able to like mimic like his art style pretty well.
The pinky made me thought of that April Fool's dating simulator thing.
Yeah,
we don't talk about it.
No, let's talk about it.
No, and then, never mind. I forget I brought that.
Adobe. Then, too much Adobe.
Too much Adobe, I know. But like, this is now it's Silver Spoon and Diamond TR looking at each other, all smiling, because like it kind of shows like, oh, we're friends, and we always has been. At least until season.
Did you plan for that to mirror the show? Because I know that this like splits off like around like season 5 or 6.
No, this takes place before season 4 and 5.
After 4, between and 4, 5.
So did you plan for that?
Timeline right now.
Did you plan for that to mirror like the Diamond TR's redemption in the show, or is that just coincidence?
It's yes.
When we started writing Case 2, I'm pretty sure the show was already at season 9.
Yeah.
So we already knew about the redemption in season 5.
Yeah.
So we naturally thought, let us extend the characterization so that it seems that there is a logical step process between what happened in season 4 and then what happened in season 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for the next image, you would in the original it was Turning Page and Scootaloo, and it was Turning Page seeing a crying Scootaloo, and Turning Page is helping her up, and now she feels better. In this one, it's just Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo. First, they were just looking at each other, and then Scootaloo gets mad at Sweetie Belle, and now Scootaloo just put down like Sweetie Belle, not kill her, but like
Sweetie Belle fell asleep.
but like this is the exact same pose
Announcing their
that
friendship.
was used in the other credits, but this time it's Sweetie Belle, and it's
Shaman King
Scootaloo.
pointed out, by the way, in chat, between season 4 and 5, since there's no mention of Starlight and the library was destroyed.
Yeah.
Again, season 4 has already happened. Season 5 has not already happened. It's in that small
And
gap.
And over here we have like Fair Devotion and Sugar Stamp.
Sugar Stamp.
You guys had like Silver Spoon in my head for a bit. But like of course, like kind of like Fair Devotion kind of walking away while Sugar Stamp's like no, because she's like trying to, yeah. And then you have the next image where you see Private Eye kind of like quote unquote giving respect to Royal Order by going to the Nightmare Knight statue. And of course, we get to the next one, which is, I believe, is the last one. And it was in the first credits, it was everyone just looking at each other, all smiling. And in this one, you see Athena and Twilight kind of looking in different directions. Twilight looking to see Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle kind of like going away, and Athena seeing Fair and Sugar going away, kind of like showing like, yeah, this is kind of falling apart. Friendships are falling apart.
James pointed out in chat as well that like we're mid-season and we're between seasons in My Little Pony and between games for Ace Attorney.
Yeah, this is kind of the in-between like series basically.
It's like a limbo.
Yeah, this is the limbo series for the two franchises.
Yep.
And also,
I am gonna. Go on.
And one more. And if you can see here, it's not a sunflower or whatever it was anymore in the first credits. In this, it's the poison joke.
Oh, I
didn't realize that at first.
Yeah,
I thought it was
the poison joke.
I was about to be clever and say that it's not a sunflower, it's a moon lily.
Moon lilies are white.
If you know,
That's just not right because moon lilies are white. So
wait, don't go to 2-8 already. Why is it a? Oh wait, that's right. I'm on a.
Dude.
What are you doing?
Stop it.
Autoplay being like.
You know what?
I'm gonna ask that you go to the message.
Just
part.
go right here.
Okay. Because
there.
I have.
But yeah, that's the end of 2-7.
Katie wants.
Oh, Pretty was a fucking trooper throughout all
Katie
of this.
talk.
Go ahead, Katie. Go ahead.
Okay, so Message is obviously the ending theme for Case 2, and Message will haunt my dreams forever. So back when we were originally putting Message, there were not harmonies that we could find that existed. So people were, I think Soundman came to me and said, hey, why don't you try to, listen to this and write harmonies for this? And I wanted to die. It was the only audio I had. I had two things of audio. One was the English lyrics we're using, and the other was the official. It was hell. It was so hard to be able to pick out the harmonies. And that's why I really do not like how the first Message came out before we fixed it. Because I also sung the harmonies in those. And Shannon and I love Shannon to death, but our voices do not mix well. Or maybe I just sucked at writing harmonies, who knows. And it was rough. It was really rough. Then James, you saved my life. James managed to actually write out the melody for Message on a I think it was James on a notepad.
It was Andrathist.
Oh, it was Andrathist? Sorry, James, you're not my savior. Andrathist is. Of writing out like the actual melody notes on a like score kind of online app. And once I had the notes there, I could very easily just like, you know, do some very easy harmonies with that. And then we sent those over to Shannon, and she could isolate the harmonies and re-sing those and then put it together. And everything was beautiful again. You are the bane of my existence. Message will haunt me forever. But so that finally, you know, it took so long. Message, literally, I had to listen to Message probably around at least like 20 times. And I can't hear it anymore. I can't hear it without wanting to go insane. It's I hate it so much. But yeah, so there's some story behind the, you know, creation of Message and why the harmonies will haunt my dreams.
Message is to you what like clockwork is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah, by the way, we are done with 2-7.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah, like, this was an episode.
Yes.
And
that was really articulate, Al. You made me spill my tea.
When I first saw this episode, I was kind of like, it was worth the wait, honestly, before I joined EOJ.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Like, some really good twists in this episode. Like, some were really well, like, some were telegraphed very intentionally and well telegraphed, but others, like the private eye twist and the stepping down from defense twist, like, those came out of left field and were great.
Yeah.
And also, Athena's character development in general has been great throughout this whole case.
Yeah. And 2-7 is such like a big lead up to what's gonna happen in the next episode, where everything really starts to like come together and also fall apart. Yeah.
Someone is confused about what Message is.
It's a song. Don't talk about it.
It's a song.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's the ending song for the credits. If you want to know what the deal with it is, just, you know, rewind.
Go back in 10 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 2-7, everybody. This is a more
leaps
technical
and
difficulty,
bounds
like
better than 2-3.
Yeah, absolutely. It was shorter and more onto the point. As for this DC, it went pretty well. Had more hiccups than usual. That's probably because I'm sick too, so my brain is
got canceled in 4K. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a nice moment.
Got muted this moment I started talking. That was great.
That was amazing. Just another
day in the EOJ basement.
Yep.
I thought it was fine for me since it was my first time.
One day we'll be free.
Oh, you haven't seen it. You haven't seen anything yet.
You haven't seen anything yet. You just gotta wait a little longer. It'll happen.
Yeah. I hope you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed us new guys and our fucking antics.
Yeah. I think.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And especially dealing with me.
I thought like having two people who are really new and kind of were not here during the production would give like a different like kind of vibe to it. And it definitely like gave it a different vibe with having Joe be here in spirit.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. This is my last one. Oh, thank you so much, Justin. But like,
thank you.
Joe, if you're watching this, we love you. We're glad that you're able to like talk with us in spirit. We love hearing your voice. But I think now's a good time to end, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree that after the having some newer perspectives definitely change things up a bit. So like instead of it being a purely insider view, like I was definitely coming at this from the perspective of a viewer, since that's the extent of my involvement with this episode, which I think was an interesting perspective to put a voice to.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. But yeah, it's time to end it. But of course we gotta end it in a certain way.
Sand.
Yeah. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for it to be so bad again?
No.
It's gonna be awful.
Are you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Objection.
Objection.
Nobody told me that was happening.
I was get pranked.
I was